Hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Welcome to our show. We meet here every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are live on Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. And so follow us on either one of those pages. We are so happy you're here. We're thrilled you're here, actually. And just know you can watch us in replay, of course, and also listen to us in podcasts on Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. So tonight is August 8th, 2023. And there is our friend Danielle from D's and Light Edits. Hi, Maria, and welcome back, Leo. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you, Danielle. I was talking to Danielle yesterday, and when I mentioned the show tonight, she said, oh, that's the 8th of August, 8/8. And she said something about, I wish I could remember exactly, but it's a big deal, I guess. Oh, okay. Thanks, Danielle. Today is also the day many celebrate as Lionsgate, or the time of year when the stars of Sirius and Orion align with our Earth. And it's a time to reflect, heal, clear your energy, manifest, and rise. I love that, Danielle. Yes, Danielle is so brilliant. Oh, my God. I was talking to her on the phone yesterday, but I couldn't write things down. I usually have to take notes when I'm talking to Dave, even if it's just a social call, because she says things, and I'm like, what? Wait, what did you say? So thank you for typing that out. I appreciate that. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. Things are shifting. Sometimes we have to be rattled first before we can make changes. And but summer, we're mostly through the summer. I think we got another month of summer for sure. And it's a little bit cooler in New York. I don't know about other parts of the world, although we will ask. So Leo, our guests are from across the pond tonight. Why don't you hit that promo? Yeah, big fish in a small pond. Little frozen promo. That's okay. We'll come back to it. All right. So tonight is very special. Thank you. You're going to have a lot of notes. Yes. I always need a lot of notes. So tonight is very special because, the mission of this show, I always tell people, is to celebrate creative people, all kinds of creative people. And discuss the living, thriving. Yeah, why don't we hold off on that, Leo? We'll do it later. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Anyway, let me go back to what I was saying. The living, thriving, and surviving as a creative person in this world. And that, if you're not a creative person, it sounds intriguing. And you think, what does that mean? But if you are a creative person, you really, really, really get it. You get that being creative is something that you channel, that comes through your being, that brings joy, that brings tension, that relieves stress, that causes stress. Being a creative person brings lots of different feelings, and that's what it's all about. It's about feeling your feelings and making art out of it. So who's checked in? My cousin Cora Gauthier from Massachusetts, who I love. Cora, I was talking about you yesterday, about how cool you are and wonderful. And I miss you. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. I think I might be coming home in a few weeks, so maybe we can get together then. Rosa Abendanza's husband, Steve, made me something. I ordered something he made for me, so I have to pick it up. So it's really cool. So maybe I'll see you then. All right, so let me see. I do want to make sure that we are going live on my other page. I'd like to share the show if you want to share it, please feel free. Feel free to share our show wherever you would like to share it. Of course. Here we go. Now I know it's going live. Krista Piero has checked in. Krista Piero is my friend. He is a filmmaker. He is my hero. He's my hero. Yes, he is. He's a filmmaker. He is a radio personality. He's an amazing actor, and last week he really, really, really saved the day. Leo was under the weather in a big way, and Chris DePiero came through. So we cannot thank Chris DePiero enough. Thank you, Chris. Ed Kutu of Blade Salon has checked in. If you want to get your hair did, Rocky Hill, Connecticut, you go and see Ed Kutu. If you want to check out Chris, which I hope you do, you can go to gavonsproduce.com. That is his series that he is always working on. It's incredibly funny. And the lovely Silvana Mastrolia is one of the stars. There's that handsome face. Yes, Danielle, there it is. And also, live from Jersey, which is Chris and Silvana's show. Please check that out. I'm pretty sure it goes live on Mondays, and if not Mondays, then Wednesdays. So, all right. And Brendan Ryan has joined us. Sergeant Brendan Ryan has joined us. One of these days, Brendan, I know you're retired now, so no more excuses. You must zoom in and talk. He's an amazing bagpipe player who plays the bagpipes. And
such an iconic sound.
Yes.
Iconic sound.
Yeah.
I remember the first time that the gays had representation in the St. Patrick's Day Parade, and I was there on that one, and just the bagpipes and the proudness was just
the bagpipes are beautiful, and Brendan plays exquisitely. So we'll have Brendan pop on one of these nights. Chris DePiero says your chicken soup was amazing. Thank you.
He had the Three Kings show.
Yeah, my pleasure, Chris. He will not take paper money for a gift. So I said, well, fine then. I'm going to have to pay you in meatballs. Well, although meatballs I'm making them tonight, actually. I made that meatballs today, and I'm making the sauce tonight for the meatballs, and I will have them for you this week. So, because tomorrow, what?
I will say that getting a sauce, a meatball, or a chicken soup is like getting triple pay, sick pay, holiday pay, and a bonus.
I love that. Thank you, Leo. And yes, yay, Chris, I have meatballs for you. Fresh, delicious meatballs. So, and I had to also cook, not because just because I have a lot of orders this week, but because I'm going to be on Wendy Stewart and Tim Moss's show tomorrow called If These Walls Could Talk. It's an amazing talk show, and they asked me to come on. So that's really going to be exciting. It's tomorrow at 2, so the 9th, August 9th, which is Wednesday. So look out for that. Cindy.
My cousin Cindy.
Is that your cousin?
She's in Louisiana. Hi,
cousin. How wonderful.
Well, thanks for watching again.
You know who's in Louisiana? My niece, Leah.
Oh, really?
She's in the Air Force.
I have a cousin, Leah, who is in the Navy.
What?
Leah Stratos.
I love that. She's right on the border of Louisiana and Texas. So she said she goes to Dallas quite a bit.
Speaking of bionic women...
Rena Crugnali-Bergy. Yes, thank you, Leo. You're a Hawkeye, Leo. Hello, people, and happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you. Rena had a total knee replacement. And yes, she's going to be so bionic. Well, Tiana, I know Tiana's pretty bionic too. She's had a couple of different operations.
The women in your family, I bet. I'm a little...
Women in my family are, I can say they're bionic, and they're ready to go. Because we got a lot of cooking to do.
Did you make anything with bacon lately?
Oh my God, look at this. Speaking of bacon, this is Elliot Roth. He is an amazing piano player, arranger, personality. He plays at Brandy's, singer, and all over town. And he is our August, nothing but the apron representative. He and Bacon. If you notice, Bacon is wearing a chef's outfit. Did you know that? Look how cute he is. It's spelled Bekin, but it's pronounced Bacon. So they are our August, nothing but the apron gentleman. And his birthday is August 10th.
No, 9th.
Yes, Leo. And Lauren Muffson is August 9th. So this weekend, if you are there, I won't be there Saturday, sadly, because I'm going to be at a wedding. Although it's going to be fun. And
that's a lot of firepower going around there. I'll tell you that much.
I know.
Now, I'm a Leo name, but I'm a Sagittarian, which is the fire sign on the other side. So I'm está caliente. Estoy caliente.
Yeah, I know. I see that. Eugenia Mesa Dominguez has joined us.
Oh, speaking of caliente.
I know. Hi, Princess Eugenia. How are you? She's going to the wedding too. Ian Hershey has joined us. Who else has joined us? And Catherine England Johnson is watching. You know why that's more exciting than usual? So let me tell you who Catherine is. Catherine is my friend from England. And we met many years ago through our mutual friends in New York. She and her lovely husband, Peter, who is a captain, he is a pilot. And they were friends of my friend Judith Chusett, who you know, Dr. Judith Chusett.
Another Sagittarian, yeah.
Yeah, oh my God, that's right. So you know Judith, and I met them through her, and we became fast friends. So they are from, tell us where they're from, Leo.
Barnsley, UK.
Barnsley, UK.
And there's a city, I think that's a piece of art that is displayed there, but
well, they could display Sally Hunter Philburns art because she is an amazing artist, as is her son Magnus, who was my student during COVID on Zoom, and their Magnus's dad, Sally's husband, Paul, is joining us as well. So let me tell you why this is so incredibly special. So I met Catherine, whom I just fell in love with, and her husband. We became friends. We stayed in touch, and through the magic of Zoom and all that, she introduced me to her grandson and family, her daughter-in-law and her son, one day on Zoom. And then during COVID, of course, when the world shut down and I was I was home a lot, I started teaching this class called Express Yourself for kids, so that kids could Zoom in from all over the country and the world, and we could talk about art. And they would work on a project and then kind of like a show and tell. So Magnus was one of my students, and I'm extremely fond of Magnus. And I've talked about Magnus on the show many, many, many times. So, Leo, what do you think? Without further ado, shall we zoom in the England Johnsons and the Hunter Philburns?
Catherine Johnson is right here.
There she is. Hello, Catherine.
Hi guys.
How are you doing?
We're good. We're good. It's great to be here. Just seems strange that we're over the other side of the pond and you're there, and here we are.
Isn't this something? So now, if it's 9:13 here, you folks are 5 hours ahead, right?
It's 2:15 in the morning. 2:15 a.m.
I am so grateful that you agreed to stay up late and do the show. Now, I want to tell everybody, perhaps you can tell everybody what you do for a living.
Yeah, I am a psychotherapist / psychoanalyst. So I work in private practice here in England. I've been a therapist for over 20 years now. I do a lot of work with eating disorders, addiction, stress. I do a lot of work with grief and loss. And although I'm not an art therapist, I do a lot of the medium is through it's a different way of communicating through art, music. So that's a little bit about me.
I love that. Now, as a person that is in that field, and you mentioned art and music, which I love because that is my first love. Catherine, do you find that people that are all the things you mentioned, whether it's trauma, whether it's addiction of all sorts, whether it's grief, do you find that art is something that happens more when people are working through their stuff? Or do you find that if someone starts to create art, that there's a breakthrough?
It's varied. Yes and yes.
Okay.
But often if somebody is so traumatized or the pain is too great, then it can't be articulated. So sometimes I'll just say, okay, well, pick the pad up. And that's when the breakthrough is they can't articulate it verbally, but they can draw it. Or we can listen to music and something will happen. And that's the way I use art in terms of for somebody who you just trying to articulate what they're feeling.
Right.
And then often once that's happened, then they will go on and maybe, some go on and become out psychotherapists. Some use their musical talents. They find other channels. So it's fascinating.
Yeah, it is fascinating. And because I'm, we're all creative in different ways, but for me, the art saved my life, as did, people like you that helped others, really helped me to kind of take all that energy, because I've always been an artist, but I find that it's very important to take that energy and know what to do with it. Sometimes just to kind of harness it, take a deep breath and say, okay, So I'd like to personally thank you, because people like you really, change the world and help the rest of us to find ourselves and find our voices, whether it's through painting, music, even cooking, people that are creative in those ways. And you have lots of, what else that you do that I love, that you always take pictures of there? You have a beautiful garden, and there's always flowers. You surround yourself with beautiful flowers and things like that. So what would you suggest, like something simple to the average everyday person, if someone is feeling a little bit blue? What do you suggest as just a small little change in someone's day that might open up a channel?
Again, it's varied, and I know you've asked me for one thing, but for somebody, just being able to look themselves in the eye, in the mirror, in the morning, and just say, I'm okay, I can brush my teeth, or for somebody else, they may be able to do more. Really what I'm trying to say is, whatever it is that feels enough for you, that is enough. Because some people are so traumatized, so disassociated, so in so much distress that they can't even get out of bed. So, there are lots of other things to do. Gardening particularly, plants, nurturing something else, as opposed to, just carrying the pain. Just try and reach out from, as opposed to reaching in. Maybe this is a good time to bring this in. It's she's a colleague of mine, I don't know, but the book is amazing, and it's called A Well-Gardened Mind.
A Well-Gardened Mind, okay.
She is Sue Stewart-Smith. She's a psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, and actually she did a lot of work with suicide, people that were suicidal and people that attempted suicide, and the most extreme cases. And she came and did a lot of work in Rikers in New York.
Wow.
England. And one of the guys there was in for murder, and she works through gardening and planting, even if it's a tiny, there you go.
Wow.
She even the tiniest plant, so you can imagine in Rikers, they're not going to have much there.
Right.
And this guy who was in for murder planted a bulb, it flowered, and they had a breakthrough. And he said, can I send it to my mother? And
my goodness.
Sure, it's in the book. She can articulate better than I can. She said, you sure can. He said, it will be the first thing, he said, that I've ever given her that is something that is good.
Oh, wow.
I can't describe it like she does, but it's worth reading.
Wow, thank you.
Lots of respect for her.
Thank you for sharing that. A Well-Gardened Mind. Okay, so I did want to introduce people to you because I met you first. You are my friend, as is your lovely husband, Peter. I know he is.
He's in bed.
He is in an early flight. He's a captain. He's a pilot, right?
Yeah.
So, and a lovely, lovely human being. A lovely human being. So
one of the best.
To our captains, sleep well and fly well tomorrow. Now, Catherine, you introduced me to another part of your family who was Sally and Magnus and Paul were with you one time. We had a little Zoom session. Oh, there's Peter. Look how handsome he is. Oh, my goodness. Captain Peter Johnson. What airline does he fly for, Catherine?
He's British.
Okay, British Airways. So if you are ever flying, you may run into Captain Peter Johnson. You tell him that his family was on What's the Story with Maria, and you think he's handsome too. So you can do that. So you introduced me to your family, and why don't we bring them on now? So we have Sally.
Hi.
Leo, can you give me great? Thank you. This is Sally, Magnus, and Paul. So
Magnus is half asleep. Sorry.
It doesn't matter, Magnus. You're here. I know it's very, very late. It's 2 a.m. So Catherine introduced me to Magnus, and Magnus took my class, and I realized right away what an amazing artist he was. And I want to show you something that Magnus sent me. Look at this. Magnus sent me this a few months ago, and look at how amazing the detail on that is. And he draws lots of things. Now, I know you say to yourself, oh, well, this probably took forever. But during our class, Magnus used to draw while we would all talk to each other. There would be kids from all over the country. We had kids from Colorado, kids from California, kids from New Jersey, New York, and Yorkshire, where you're from. And Magnus we'd be talking, Magnus would be drawing, and then he would hold up his picture. It was amazing. So, Magnus, are you still drawing?
Yeah. Speak up.
Yeah.
Okay. Poor Magnus, he's tired. I apologize. I know it's late. We just
I'm a teenager.
we wanted to show off your artwork. So, you're still drawing, and are you drawing different things, or you tend to draw the Transformers? Is that your favorite thing to draw?
Yeah, I just draw robots off the games. He's still a crazy robot drawer.
I love that.
A few from this evening. So
you drew those tonight. That's amazing. And Magnus, when you draw things, do you draw them from looking at an image, or do you see it in your head?
Yeah, I do most of the time.
You're looking at an image of it and drawing it, or you're seeing it in your mind?
I do both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Okay. And where would you say, where's a place in your day, or in your neighborhood, or if you go on holiday, that is most inspiring to you as an artist?
I don't really know. Probably living room.
Probably a house, isn't it? There's drugs and all sorts all over it.
I think he likes his own room. It's full of Lego.
I love that. Well, you know what? There's plenty of songs about him in my room. There's so many artists that wrote songs about being in their room and creating and going to a different world, because art helps you to escape, and transports you to different places. So, Judith Chusett has joined us, to our friends over the pond. Yes, Judith. Judith, we were talking about you earlier. And also, Judith, why don't you type in your book? Judith wrote a beautiful book that I just absolutely love, that really, really helped me. Judith, I don't know if I ever got a chance to tell you how much that book helped me. I read it, and I had to highlight and highlight and highlight. There was so much good stuff in it. So thank you. Actually, we should have Dr. Judith Chusett on. She's been on, but before we had StreamYard, so she was just calling in. Now, Paul is an artist as well, right?
Yeah.
Paul, what do you tend to create? What do you like to do? Do you like to draw? Do you like to?
I like drawing and painting, but I build. I do like war games buildings for people and spaceships and all sorts of stuff. So I love getting spray cans out and doing 3D stuff.
3D, wow.
Experimenting with oil paints and different oils and thinners and all sorts of stuff. It's a bit bonkers.
I love it.
All over, but yeah, it's
quite often. I come home from work and there's just giant buildings on every worktop and table possible. But yeah, it's good.
Well, I will say your house must be a pretty animated place to live, because you're all creating all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
we're always fighting for space for tables and other places to do.
Well, what's this? What's this? Is this Paul's artwork?
Those are from a last project that I just did for university.
Oh, wow.
So that was the refugee project that I did for the issues with the channel crossings that we're having in England.
Oh, my goodness.
And the crisis that's happening at the moment. That's from Henry Moore. That's from another exhibition.
These are your pieces?
Yeah, yeah.
It's incredible, Sally.
But these are just part of the last project that I did for uni.
Wow. So this refugee project, didn't part of it come to New York at one point?
Not sure.
There was something that you posted that I know maybe it was traveling around, but I know it was in New York for a little while. Yeah. And I can't remember. There was a little girl involved. And that were a project that I did through schools in Barnsley. And some children wrote poetry, and I used some of their poetry in my project. That's what it was.
The particular girl that you're talking about, she came to Barnsley a few years ago with her family.
Yeah.
And so I'm still working along with her in another project that we do with refugee families.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's been part of it, yeah.
So you work with refugee families. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And Sally, what kind of... I mean, as a young person, were you always a visual artist, and how did that come to be? Was it?
Yeah, even from being really little, I used to go to bed, and my mum and dad used to think I'd gone to sleep. But I used to barricade the door so they couldn't see the light coming through. So I'd be sitting up all night, either making clothes for Barbies or just making things all night.
I love that. Now, Leo, is there a way we can show Sally's? She's working on these new pumpkins that I love.
Oh, I've got some here.
Oh, let me see, Sally. Pull them up. Look how beautiful these are.
So, I think these are going to come your way to New York.
What?
And these, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited. They're beautiful.
But that's part... We've got a project at the moment with the yarn group that I work with.
Wow.
So we're doing a pumpkin trail through Barnsley. That's for Halloween for children to follow. You made those, Sally? Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah. I keep opening drawers and they're full of pumpkins. I think I've made about 40 so far. So.
Okay. And then the next, and look at that. What are these that we're looking at?
So Paul works in a working mill,
a
flour mill. So we did a project about the mill mice, because there are some harvest mice that live on the grounds that are really endangered.
Wow.
So we did a bit of research, and I've made some mice, and they're actually in the shop being sold at the moment. So one with cards.
And how about this? These are incredible. These are incredible.
Yeah.
So talk about this piece, Sally.
So I've started doing a thing called free crocheting. So it's kind of, you just do little bits and link it together and hopefully make like some sort of a picture.
This is crocheting.
So there's a bit of a face in that, but it's bigger than that now. It's quite big. It's about a blanket size.
Wow. So you do piece by piece and then you put them together.
Yeah.
Wow. My mother would have loved that. My mother was an avid crocheter. She made many, many things.
Yeah. We set up a group in Barnsley. It's just grown massively. It's called Yarn in Time. We meet in a pub on a Tuesday night. So that's where I've been tonight. And then just crocheting with about 30 other people.
And then you stayed up late to be on the show.
So I've sat crocheting pumpkins while we go.
And is this a painting or is this crochet as well?
Yeah, that's an acrylic painting that was part of a different project. Yeah.
Can I just say, this is my everything. I want this. I love this. It's an acrylic textured. Is it acrylic textured?
It's not very big, so it's at the moment it's actually in a gallery. But I'll send you that one. You can have that one.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Well, Sally,
that one.
Do you sell your paint? You sell your work?
I struggle with selling things. I'm not.
Why do you struggle with selling things? We would buy them.
I think because I've made it, and I just struggle with that concept of.
Oh, do you want to hold on to it? You mean because you want?
No, not to hold on to it. I'm just like, I think because I've made it, I'm like, what, does someone really want that? Or,
yes, someone does. People do really want them. So I want, if our listeners or viewers want to buy your artwork,
Please, because it's stacking up and I've got no room.
I know.
I've got no room.
Let's make some
Please
room. So is this artist close-up? Okay, so Leo has posted. It says artistcloseup.com.
Yeah.
Is that the best place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a magazine I was in? Yeah, I think.
Oh, that was a magazine you were in. Okay, so here's your Instagram. Yeah. Sally Hunter Philburn. I'm going to spell it for you. Sally. Hunter is Hunter. Philburn is Philburn. And I urge you to go to Sally's Instagram page and check out her artwork because it's beautiful. And these are great gifts. These are not just great gifts. I would keep things like this in my house and put me in a better mood. Now, I'm telling you, Sally, your work is so beautiful.
Thank you.
It just puts me in a good mood. You know?
You'll soon have pumpkins anyway. They're coming your way tomorrow.
I love pumpkins. I have a bunch of art paintbrushes for Magnus that I'm sending you. I got them. Yeah. So just thank you for staying up, Magnus. Because you stayed up, I'm sending you paintbrushes. Yeah. Now, did Paul? Did you and Sally meet because of art? Were you both artists?
We sort of did. We both supported a young lad, Sally in the morning, me in the afternoon, and as part of that support package, we really got through to this kid with art.
Wow!
And then I did the after school club with Louis and Cameron, Sally's sons, and I used to draw Transformers with them.
Strangely enough.
See?
It's sort of a bit through drawing, a bit through all sorts of stuff, and we just we just got together.
Wow, that's
the pumpkin
wonderful.
thing. We actually got married at Halloween, so we like.
Oh, you did? I love that.
Yeah.
So Halloween, I guess Halloween is. I wasn't sure if it was just an American holiday or if it's an international holiday. But
I think it's quite big here now. Yeah.
Oh, good. Big. Oh, I love Halloween.
We get to August and then the weather is bad, so we all decide that's it. It's going to be Halloween next. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. Now, so
it's also a really good date that I can't forget.
Yeah, it's hard for him to forget an anniversary.
I'm not good with dates, so I can't really forget my anniversary because it's on Halloween.
Paul, as we say in the States, you lucked out. You got lucky with that one. Because most of the men I know always forget their anniversaries, and they're in big trouble. But you shall never forget. Okay, let's check in with some of our people that are saying hello. Judith says, love your work, and the pumpkins are fab. Yes. So, folks, it's right around the fall is right around the corner. You want to purchase some pumpkins from Sally? Please do, and her beautiful artwork. Let's help Sally make room in she and Paul and Magnus's home so she can create more art. So go to her website, Sally Hunter Philburn. That is the / there on Instagram, and I love it. I go there all the time and look at different things. Lynn Portis is watching. She is one of my best friends and musical director, and she says, "That's beautiful, Magnus." So she was commenting on this gorgeous, and he signed it for me. I love this. I love this. I put it in different places all the time, Magnus.
And he signed it with the pens you sent him.
Oh, the Doodle Dazzle pens. Yes, those are sparkly pens.
Still working.
Does Magnus work with acrylic paint at all? Because I have some of those sitting around.
He's going to start. Yeah, we've got some canvases. So
okay, because I have a bunch of them left over from another class that I taught years ago, and I said to myself, "These are calling Magnus's name. I feel that I will include them with the paintbrushes."
There you go.
So they will get used. Now I know you just had a holiday. Did you go to the ocean? I saw some pictures that you had posted.
We went. We just only for 2 days, but
it's one of them things, isn't it? We like to go to the sea as much as humanly possible.
As you'll notice on most of my artwork, it's probably of the ocean at some point.
That's exactly why I asked.
I cold water swim because I have a few illnesses, and cold water has been brilliant and for mental.
Absolutely.
Stuff. Yeah. So
the ocean is where I feel the freest ever.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you, because I noticed that a lot of your artwork has colors of kind of like almost mermaidian.
Yeah. I think I wish I could be a mermaid. If that were possible, then that's it.
Well, I gotta tell you, Sally, that's what I picked up. I mean, the energy of your artwork is very much mermaid.
The nearest thing I got to that is I used to teach swimming for about 10 years, and I was a lifeguard, but not anymore.
Really? So in a sense, you were a mermaid.
Yeah. Well, sort of.
Somehow, some way.
You can
bye. I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay, Magnus, thank you for staying on. You got to remember, it's almost 3 a.m. there. Poor Magnus.
He's gone now.
Yes, that's okay. That's right. Paul, why don't you get closer so we can see you? Get closer to your beautiful bride, to your beautiful mermaid.
I think you should send him one of your aprons, Maria.
Wait a minute. Oh, Sally, you don't understand how exciting that is for me. So, Paul, when is your birthday?
It's in May.
It's in May. Okay.
But mine's in October.
Okay.
Everything's in October.
Okay, wait. So, Paul, when's your birthday's May? You're a Gemini?
Yeah, Gemini. Yeah.
So am I.
Excellent. What date?
May 21st.
24th.
Oh. Okay, so that week we'll have to celebrate across the pond.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sally, you're a Libra?
Yeah.
Oh my God, my girlfriend is a Libra. This is crazy. I'm telling you. Okay, so now I'm not going to let this go, Paul. You said that now if I send you a free apron, Paul, will you pose?
Absolutely.
You will do it?
Yeah. Definitely.
So that means nothing but the apron. You can wear underwear, but we don't want to see it. We just want to make it look like you have.
You'll not be able to see it.
I'll be able to see it. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, our
listeners. It's cold in Yorkshire.
I'm telling you right now, I'm sending it this week. So, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, Paul Philburns has just announced that he will be Mr. May in our 2024 Nothing But the Apron calendar. Put your hands together. Yes. Oh, my God.
I've just looked at flights, Maria, for next May, so it might even happen in New York.
Oh, my God. Well, that's going to be very exciting. But I will send it to you. You take a picture. Well, we'll have your wife take a picture of you. And then send it in, and we are going to have it. Then we'll get to the presses, as we say.
Excellent.
This is Catherine, as you are my witness now. He is committed to being Mr. May.
I need committing.
Yeah.
He has committed. I love that. Okay, so we are going to take a moment to do the food section of our show. And now, I often feel guilty when I do the food section of our show because I've cooked here and I show it, but I can't share it with you, but I wish I could share it with you. So what I do every week is I cannot ask my guests to be creative if I am not creating myself every week. So I challenge myself to cook something brand new every week. And this week, what I have cooked, I was making meatballs anyway because I have lots of orders. As you know, Catherine, when you were here, you had some of my sauce.
Oh.
And you liked it?
Yeah. With Judith and Tori.
Yes, with Judith and Tori and Peter.
Yeah.
So tonight, now meatballs usually for me, they go in tomato sauce. The Italians do it that way. However, I was in a restaurant a few weeks ago, a really fancy high-end restaurant, and they had as an appetizer meatballs, but not in sauce, just fried and on certain vegetables. So I tasted it, and of course, like any other Italian, I thought to myself, I can do that better. I don't know what it is about cooking and restaurants, but I always think, I can fix this. I can make this better. So I don't know if you do that as well, but Leo, do you ever do that? Go to a restaurant and say, I can do that better?
Ever since I left New York and I've been out here in California, I've had to.
Yeah. So I love to cook. I learned it from my mom. It was a great skill that she taught me. As just like you passed down your art to Magnus, our parents passed down beautiful things to us. So what did I make? I made my usual meatballs, which is ground beef, breadcrumbs, garlic, parsley, and grated Romano cheese. That's what I put in my meatballs. Fried them, which I love to do in olive oil. And then underneath here is peppers. So I have a Cubanelle peppers, which are very big with Italians. Cubanelle peppers, the green ones. Red peppers and Vidalia onions, which are very sweet onions that we tend to have in August here. I don't know if they're big in England, but we have them here. And I cook those in, let me see, I always have to write it down. Rosemary, sage, garlic, chives, and crushed red peppers. So that's what's underneath that. A little meat and vegetables because I am on the keto. Isn't that good, Leo? For my salad tonight, I made romaine lettuce, baby red beets, gorgonzola cheese, and to celebrate our Brits, English cucumber. Yes, that is an English cucumber in there. I am using a fig-infused balsamic vinegar and a Tuscan herb olive oil on that salad.
Yummy.
Yes, right? And then, because it is summer, and this year, something about the watermelon is better than ever. So, watermelon. That's what we are having tonight. So now, I'm going to turn it over to you. We'll start with you, Catherine. What is a food that it's just something that is healthy, but you love it. You can't get enough of it. What is your favorite? Can't get enough of it, but it's good for me. Mine is watermelon.
Fish.
Fish. Me too. Love it. Do you cook it yourself or do you get it at a restaurant?
Yeah, I do quite a bit of cooking, but I do like to go out too.
And when you cook fish, how do you cook it?
I usually griddle it, bake it, roast it, and stir fry.
It's so good. I love that. I love fish because being from Massachusetts and being Italian, that's a really big deal. That we eat a lot of that. And Paul and Sally. Well, let's start with Sally, and then Paul will bring it in, as they say. Sally, what is your favorite? Something that you just can't get enough of.
See, I really like Chinese food, but I'm trying to cut back on meat. So this week we've had a few like tofu dishes with like noodles and trying to be good.
That sounds delicious.
And we had a king prawn one as well with noodles and that was nice.
That sounds delicious. I love Chinese food too.
Yeah.
It's actually my guilty pleasure. Like especially if I'm cranky. Yeah. If I'm not feeling well and I don't want to talk, I just will always get Chinese food. Yeah. Let me tell you a quick story. One time I ordered so much Chinese food and the gentleman that delivered it, when I opened the door, he gave me the price and I got it and he said to me, this is not just for you, is it? I said, oh no, I have a bunch of people coming over. That's how much Chinese food I ordered from, and that man actually shamed me a little bit, but I made him think that I had a full party there. So I love Chinese food as well. Paul, what's your favorite? What's your favorite food that you could eat every day?
I'm a bit of a beggar for food because I will eat absolutely everything, and I love all the wrong stuff at the right times and at the wrong times. But I do like slow roasted veg in the oven.
That's nice.
Peppers, onions, tomatoes, potatoes, a glug of olive oil, loads of garlic, loads of salt and pepper, nice and steady in oven, and just let it all chill out. And it's
wow. Great. If I didn't know any better, I think you were Italian. You just described a very Italian meal there.
Yeah, it's just nice. But I do like a dirty takeaway, a dirty kebab,
a kebab, right? That is delicious. You know what? It's a nice thing to do since you both like vegetables and then we're coming on the fall. Sometimes Judy will take my girlfriend Judy will take roasted vegetables like you just described, and she adds carrots and squash, like butternut squash, and then if you put a little bit of butter and a little cinnamon on that and put it in the oven, that's a really great meal. So I love vegetables as well. I think Europeans tend to consume more vegetables than Americans anyway. Like, my parents are from Italy, so we grew up with a garden. Do you grow your own vegetables, or do you grow any vegetables?
Well, I'm really lucky because where I work, we've got like a kitchen garden that the volunteers sort of do.
Oh,
and
great!
We've got spuds on it and all sorts of all the herbs and some fruits and whatnot. Yeah, it's really nice.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, I just find that my European friends tend to consume more vegetables. Let's take a moment and see who has checked in with us, because we have a lot of listeners and friends. Susan Campanero says, hi, Maria. Hi, Susie. Susie is one of my best friends in the world, and she's very funny and a great teacher. We both teach as well. And then Andy Prasky, my mom and sister always added a little water to the meat, make it less... Leo, I hold off on that for a second, honey, because we do want to talk about that, but I want to give it its proper due. Annette Zito, hello, handsome. She says that is for Leo. I'm assuming it could be for Paul. I don't know. I mean, he's married. Annette, he is married, for the love of God. But Frankie Luciani, who is checked in, is my oldest friend of all time. He and I grew up together. We were little kids. I think we've known each other since we were 6 or 7. So he's just checked in to say hello. Okay, now, Leo, why don't you pop on first and tell me what you're...
That was a little background music for your, little nice, smooth, beautiful voiced, angelic background music from this artist, Millie England. I just heard of her.
Yes. Wow.
I love her voice.
Beautiful is that? Oh my God, it's gorgeous, right? It's beautiful. This, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. This is Millie England. She is Catherine's niece,
and
right?
Goddaughter.
And goddaughter. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. How do we find this music? How do we find Millie England, Leo? The problem with songs is we can't play the whole thing because they'll mute us. So this is, yes, Facebook will mute because it's we don't have the rights to it. Those are Millie's rights, which actually protects the artist. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. Leo, what do you think? Incredible, right?
Wonderful. A little siren that's there singing, and her throat voice is so soulful.
Yeah.
And then she elevates up into this angelic range in both of the songs that I've heard. That just wonderful. It's a wonderful range.
So this is Millie England. Please, please, please go and check her out. Download her music if you're on Apple, if you're on Spotify, stream. And I always say go and buy it because as a songwriter, I know that struggle. People listen and stream all they want and the songwriter sees nothing. But if you buy it, the songwriter gets a piece of that. So if you're on Apple Music, go and buy that. One is called 5 a.m. And the other one is called, I can't read that writing, Leo. What does it say?
This one's for you.
This one's for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 a.m. and This One's for You are Millie's singles. They've been released. Please do yourself a favor and go and listen to them. Maybe what I'll do after this is we can post it on, I think if we post it as a MP3 on our page, we can share it. But for some reason, Facebook and YouTube don't let you play the whole song. They'll mute it because of rights. So, yes, please, please.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention that the artwork on the songs, her brother Harry, who is also an artist, Harry England, that's his work. So there is something that runs through. And their father, Wayne England, was also an amazing artist. there is something in the England family, and
you got a big old talented family.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the reasons I wanted to have you on all together, because the apple does not fall far from the tree. And then Sally, you bring in a whole different kind of art. Like how can Magnus not be a great artist? How can he not be influenced by all this beauty around him? And I've been teaching since 1992, and I find that kids that like Catherine, what you were saying, sometimes people aren't always very talkative, but they can speak through their drawings. And I always found my shy kids were amazing artists. Amazing.
He started getting on board with projects that I've been doing as well, which is nice. Especially the last refugee one. He actually stood up in the town hall in front of the mayor and a lot of people had to do a speech about how children are the sort of way forward and how they'll bring a change. I think they've invited him again to come and do the Holocaust Memorial Day speech as well.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's fantastic.
It were nice having him following and taking notice.
Oh, that's little Magnus.
Little Magnus. We want that one back.
Well, I know. Oh, there's Millie. Millie. We're going to have Millie on some night. It's just hard with the schedules and the different time. Oh, look at this. This is Captain England, his beautiful bride, Catherine England, psychotherapist, and their friend Maria. I don't know who she is, but we took that picture. We were in Edgewater, New Jersey, and that's where all the great views of New York are. So we went on a drive, the three of us, drove around and took beautiful pictures. So that was a fun day, wasn't it, Catherine?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Fabulous.
It was
we enjoyed every minute, and we saw where Sully took the plane down. So
right,
the loft. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I want to tell that story. Thank you, because I was thinking of Peter earlier, and that was the first story that came to me. So everybody looks at life differently, right? I mean, we all have eyes to see, but we could be looking at the same thing and we see different things. So I take Catherine and Peter in my car. We drive, and I wanted to show them different points of view. And I had never even thought of this, but Captain England, Peter said to me, wait a minute, isn't that where Sullenberger, Captain Sullenberger, remember this, folks, isn't that where his plane went down in the Hudson River? And I don't know if folks out there remember this, but there was an incredibly brave and miraculous thing that happened. There was a plane that went down in the Hudson River, and this Captain Sullenberger, who is nicknamed Sully, actually was able to miraculously land this plane in the Hudson River. And then people were saved. Everybody on the plane was saved. And so I didn't even think of that. But of course, Peter did, because that's what he does for a living. So that's right. When we look at that, it's where Sully. So it's beauty and history are in the eye of the beholder, I suppose. So now we have about 5 minutes left to our show. It's gone by so quickly. Will you, once again, Leo, please put up Sally's Instagram page? Okay, so it's Sally Hunter Philburn. Philburn is Philburn. Please go to her Instagram page. There's so much gorgeous artwork. And Sally, you're going to have to sell it, because we're going to be clamoring for it. We Americans want some of your artwork. I am crazy about it.
You can have whatever you like.
Well, we're gonna buy it, so you have to put some prices on that, my friend.
And can I just say, Maria, of course, the thing that you did during COVID was absolutely massive, and to Catherine for connecting Magnus as well with that, because he used to just sit up on a Tuesday night waiting for that moment, and then he'd tell his friends, and I don't think his friends believed him that he was on this chat thing to somebody in New York.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It was the highlight of his weeks in COVID.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, it was the highlight of my week in COVID. We were all stuck in the house, as you know. We don't have to, remind people. I have to connect with other human beings or I get very sad. For me, I feel if I'm cut off from other people, that's when my darkest places are. And so I started this class. Catherine signed Magnus up for it. And so that's when I got to meet him. And it was so nice because there were people from all over, as I said, but it was this particular group of kids that came together that never met in person. They will probably never meet in person. Who knows? Maybe there's a way that someday we can all bring them together again, maybe. But they talked about their fears. They talked about missing their friends. We literally just spoke. We were speaking and drawing. And Magnus drew so many beautiful things, but also he really opened up. And because he opened up, the other kids opened up. Because I think he was the oldest one, just by a few months maybe, or a year. But it was so beautiful. I'll never forget that. So Magnus is very dear to my heart. I'm sorry it's so late, and I have shown this so many times, and I will show it again. This is a teacher's greatest evidence of love. When a student, and remember, Magnus and I never met in person either. We met on Zoom during our darkest times. And when a student thinks about his teacher and sends this across the ocean, I will keep this forever. I have not framed it only because I like to move it around my apartment. I put it in different places at different times, but it makes me happy. So I want to go around now, and I like to leave people inspired to continue to create. And so why don't we start with, we'll start with Paul, and then Catherine, and then end with Sally. What words of inspiration would you leave people that are listening, that are watching, that maybe are stuck right now, and they want to create, but they, what words of encouragement would you give people? Paul, why don't you start?
I'd start sort of really simple, just sort of on back of what my mum was saying. Just go outside and look up, and you can take a little snapshot in your head. And if you want to make a mark or do some mark making, do that. There's all sorts of really cool stuff out there just by looking out your window, looking up, or looking in your garden.
Oh, thank you so much. Catherine, what do you think? What would you leave? What words of encouragement would you leave?
I'd just say it's never too late. There's always another day.
Yeah.
And most importantly, whoever you are, wherever you are enough, and you mean something to this. You needed in this world.
Yes, I love that. That's beautiful. And Sally, what would you like to leave people with to inspire them to continue to create?
I think it's easy to give into the thing in your head telling you can't do it or you're not good enough. So I think try your best to ignore it and just do it. What's the worst that can happen?
And I love what you said about Magnus earlier, that he likes to go to his room as you did when you were younger. And, so for people out there, you don't have to be an extrovert like me. I'm an extrovert, so I sing and I do comedy. But you don't have to be an extrovert to create art. You can draw, you can take photographs, you can knit, you can mold, you can do all kinds of things. Now, I'm going to venture to say that Paul is an extrovert like me. Am I right, Paul?
Always has been.
Geminis are extroverts, but you are one of those personalities that also does visual art, which is wonderful. I can't always focus that long. It's like, so I admire that. And Leo, would you like to join us? Where's little Leo going? So Leo is a very creative person. He's a songwriter. He's an actor. He also teaches kids after school. And Leo, would you leave us with some words of encouragement for not just kids, although that's what you focus on, but you're going to start teaching an adult class now. And what are some words of encouragement for people that maybe have been stuck?
Try it. You never know. You might like it. You might at that moment get the feeling like, oh, that's what that was missing. You never know till you try it.
Yeah. And, today what advice I can give you that happened to me today is I was literally looking at something online. I don't even know what it was. And words came into my head so quickly that it was almost as if someone was speaking in my head. And rather than just let it go through and pass, I grabbed a piece of paper and I just started writing as quickly as I could. And I've been doing a lot more of that versus editing myself, versus sitting down and saying, I am going to write something now. So I don't know if visual artists are the same, where they just begin and something comes of it. But like Catherine was saying, you're enough. And I'm saying, don't edit yourself. Be in whatever creative process it is. As silly as it may seem, I have more little pieces of paper around my house with little thoughts, and sometimes we put them together, and just be in the moment. Don't think of it as a project. Think of it as almost swimming in the ocean. And when you create, just do it and edit afterwards. Don't think about it. I want to thank Catherine England Johnson, my friend, my original friend that I met, that I adore. I wish we lived closer. You'd be sick of me, Catherine. I'd be bringing you food every day. And I absolutely adore Magnus. I know he's shy, but there is his heart is so big, and his artwork has touched me. And I'm so glad that we're going to stay connected, and we'll see each other in May when you come to visit. Sally, thank you so much for your beautiful words. You are very inspiring, and I love your artwork. Paul, please show us more of your artwork as time goes on. And I am so excited, Leo, about Mr. May 2024. Nothing but the apron calendar. You will be in a calendar like this, Mr. Philburn. I mean, you are going to steal the show.
Awesome, yeah.
My editing equipment already started to sizzle. My editing equipment already went. So,
this was last year's Mr. May, but next year, move over, Lucas, because it's all Philburn. That's all I'm saying.
From across the pond.
From across the pond.
Yeah.
Okay. Cindy has said hello. Let me see if I've missed anybody. Judith, good night. Judith, thank you. Bill Goffey says hello. Andy Prasky says hello. I just want to make sure I don't miss Johnny Tamaro, who is Mr. December.
Hi, Johnny.
Kathy Roberti, my cousin from Massachusetts. Rebecca Whitman has joined us. Janet Betta, James Moore, so many wonderful people. Listen, here's the deal. We are living in stressful times. For whatever reason, global warming, things that happen around the world. But what we do have is each other. And we have the ability to connect. So connect to another human being, even if it's through a text, a picture, even an emoji. Stay connected, because the devil wants you all by yourself so he can get in your head. You know what my mother used to say? You tell that devil to get out of your head. So thank you, everybody. So much love sending you from across the pond. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
And Leo, thank you. Grateful for all of you. Good night, my friends.
Nice to meet all of you.